Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Lawrence Ross. Welcome to yet another edition of As I See It. Today, I'd like to talk to y'all for a little bit about these overly sensitive millennials, today's people that are currently in our society and unfortunately might become leaders of our country. The newest article says that at the University of Florida, they now have counselors who are going to counsel people who are afraid of Halloween costumes or if they are offended by Halloween costumes. My response is very simple. What in the fuck has happened with our society? The problem can be traced back to all of these fucking participation trophies. Everybody gets a trophy, is what these kids are indoctrinated with. So they grow up thinking in that mindset, and they surround themselves in this little bubble that basically lets them have the mindset of everybody should be accepted, and if anybody interferes with them in any way, shape, or form, they automatically think, ooh, it's a microaggression, or it's a micromanage, or hey, don't say that word, Orient, that's a trigger phrase, that's a trigger word. Why would you say such horrible and sensitive things? Here's my advice to you fucking people. Butch the fuck up, you bunch of pussies. You pussification America contributing motherfuckers. Every fucking one of you. I would love to see one of these social justice warriors break off and rebel against you guys. A former social justice warrior coming back and saying, I'm looking as to what you guys are doing. I used to be one of you guys and I don't like it anymore. I'm reformed. You guys are just intolerant little crybabies who are all upset over the tiniest things. And let's think about something else here. The same people who are complaining about Halloween costumes, well, what were they doing 10, 15, 20 years ago? They were probably doing the same thing. They were probably wearing Halloween costumes, trick-or-treating like everybody else does. So don't give me that crap, alright? And here's something else for you kids to take into effect, or put this in your minds for a little bit, alright? Have you ever heard the expression that if you go see a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or a counselor for anything, have you ever heard the phrase that there's a possibility that the person you're going to see is more fucked up than what your problem is? You come to them crying about some guy sporting a Batman costume, and meanwhile, when they go home at night, they probably have homicidal thoughts about strangling their roommate with jumper cables. Yeah, that's right. I fucking said it, and I'm not apologizing for it. You know what would be great? If all these social justice warriors could take a step back and blame their parents for bringing them up in this soft-ass society and basically did nothing to correct it. Because you cannot logically be raised in society on participation trophies and all these rose-colored glasses ideologies and think that is how the world is going to be. Not the case. Not the case at all. It would be fantastic if one of these social justice warriors would call their parents and say, hey, do you mind explaining to me why you brought me up in this soft-ass society where everyone is accepted? Well, guess what? Not everyone is accepted. Alright? And let me just say this. Enjoy riding your high horses now, because when you get out of college and you go out in the real world, you're going to find out real quick that the world is not kind, especially to spineless pussies like you. Alright? All of you. No one's excluded from this. And I'm really tired of these people who make it so that comedians, established names such as Chris Rock, Jerry Seinfeld, John Cleese, Eric Idle, all these established names are not performing at college campuses. Why? Because they don't want to deal with the headache that is political correctness. Do these people not realize that when they complain about microaggressions or whatever the fuck that is, don't they realize that they're complaining about words is, to use their own logic against them, micromanaging the English language. It micromanages freedom of speech. Alright? The First Amendment. Someone says something you don't like, guess what? Tough. If they retract it, okay. But if not, then tough. You can disagree with someone on something, but you can't go around and try to censor them every step of the way. You should at least take Voltaire's advice and say, okay, I don't agree with what you say, but I'll defend to my death the right for you to say it. Apparently these kids never heard of that. They're too busy Googling how to break up how to break up whatever the fuck it is, how to fuck up someone's good time. Like what the University of Florida is doing. All right? By allowing this to happen. They're basically caving into the student body who are a bunch of social justice warriors. Not all of them at the University of Florida. There's some really, let me just say that I imagine that there are a lot of good people at the University of Florida, but the select few who are a bunch of social justice warrior crybabies, they're caving to them, and that's not good. The social justice warriors really need to be the outcasts in our society. Forget about blind people and handicapped people and people who are a little overweight, or people who might be anorexic, or people who might be goth kids. That's nothing compared to all these social justice warriors who are trying to spoil everyone's fun. That's all they're doing. They're spoiling everyone's fun. This is why we can't have nice things. Because of these guys. These social justice warriors who were raised in a bubble. These soft-ass millennials. And do your research, all right? This isn't the first time that people have gotten all upset. Duke University, a couple of years ago, they got this campaign, the You Don't Say campaign. The You Don't Say campaign, which in my opinion is fucking communism. They basically say, well, we don't say man up, we don't say bitch, we don't say this, we don't say that. Let me just say this. I'm pretty sure you guys have said those words in the past and didn't give it a second thought. But now, y'all are raised in this bubble that you think, well, everyone should abide by everything that we do and say because we're going to rule the world one of these days. But guess what? You're not going to rule the world with stupid rules and regulations such as this. Bunch of idiots. All right? That's all I got. Thank you very much.